Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Taya Salam. This is what the show looks like. We're starting off with, of course, what's going down later today in Abuja. It's going to be between the Falcons of Nigeria and the Lady Elephants of Côte d'Ivoire, the face-off and the final round of qualifiers for the 2022 Africa Women's Cup of Nations. Also on the program, still talking football, but this time around in the Europa League, where Barcelona rallied for a 1-1 draw against Napoli in their knockout playoff rounds. Also on the program in the NBA this time around, where it was Joel Embiid out-dueling Giannis Antetokounmpo as the Philadelphia 76ers beat the defending champs in the NBA. All right, so that's just a teaser for what to expect on the show. You can be rest assured you're going to be getting details of all the stories in the next 55 minutes. So try and stick with us for the duration of the program. I'm not alone on the program today, not flying solo. I've got someone making his return, Rotimi Akindele. It's been a while, it's been a minute, but it's always great to welcome you back.
Thank you very much, Tayo. Good morning. Good to be here. It's been a long week, thanks to the field situation.
I know.
We'll be fine.
We're here. Somehow, we always find a way, of navigating murky waters in the country.
Yeah, so I think we're made for it. We'll keep bracing ourselves, to go past all this and then come out very, very good. But it's always a pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. So let's just cut to the chase and go straight to the NBA. Our last teaser was on the NBA, so Tony Wright will start the show with the NBA games that went down this morning. As a matter of fact, it's the last game for a lot of the teams before the All-Star break. We have the results of those games for you, including our feature match between the Bucks and the 76ers. But before we focus on that, let's tell you about the other games that went down this morning. Fantastic results for certain teams. We saw the likes of the Brooklyn Nets and not being able to extend their winning streak to 3. They were defeated by the Washington Wizards. Before we get to that, let's tell you about the Hornets and the Miami Heat. That game ended 111 to 107 in favor of Miami. What a performance coming from Kyle Lowry. He was the star of the show in that particular victory for Miami, and that's how they were able to get a fantastic victory over Charlotte. Elsewhere, the Wizards defeated the Nets. Like I said, it ended 117 to 103 in favor of Washington. Hachimura was the star of the show for Washington in that particular victory. Let's move on to the Mavericks and the Pelicans. It ended 125 to 118 in favor of Dallas. The Pelicans, despite a fantastic performance from CJ McCollum, could not get the W against Dallas, and that was because Luka Doncic was simply unplayable on the night. He finished with 49 points and 15 rebounds. The Bucks and the 76ers is a feature game, so we'll come to it, but the Bucks were on the losing side, 120 to 123. And last but not the least, Marcus Morris Sr. scoring 27 points as the LA Clippers sped to a 17-point lead in the first half, and they ended up beating the Houston Rockets 142 to 111. So those are your fixtures, and those are your results that are coming from the NBA this morning. It's time to focus on the Bucks and the 76ers, two of the top sides in the Eastern Conference. And of course, it was always going to be a situation of Joel Embiid going up against Giannis Antetokounmpo. And after 4 quarters, Rotimi, it was Joel Embiid that won the battle, also won the war.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, not a bad one for Joel Embiid.
Yes.
Don't forget as well that they've been spot on with the addition of James Harden.
James Harden, yes.
And so all of the pressure on Joel Embiid trying to deliver alone or carry the 76ers alone has been hissed. And then you probably get to see more of such performances from 76ers as a whole now. But of course, in this individual battle, 42 points on the night.
Wow.
10 more than Giannis Antetokounmpo, who, by the way, got 50 points just from 2-3 days ago. So, it depends on the approach, depends on the tactics, depends on the rotational play by the coaches and all of that. But it was 76ers who probably needed this one, and then they got it. Bucks know whatever happens, we're still good enough for the playoffs and all of that. So, but in that, I mean, just like you said, in that individual battle, it was Embiid who made a statement, 10 points clear of Giannis, and somehow in the past or in some games, we've seen big players outscore a bigger player in another team and still going to lose. But in this case, he did enough, 42 points on the night individually, and that was enough to edge them past Bucks. The game, it was just a 3-point margin, 123 to 120. So not bad for the 76ers as it were.
So Philly needed every single point from Embiid to get that victory. Like you said, just a 3-point margin between those two teams. And for Philly, they had to rebound from that cataclysmic loss they suffered just a couple of days ago, where they were beat down by the Celtics by 48 points. So they needed to bounce back.
And that's how interesting basketball can be.
One day you lose.
Exactly. You can go on, get all your points, go on to win 5 straight games, and then the next game you're losing.
You're getting blown out.
And you're like, what's happening to us?
So
that's it. And then meanwhile, the Miami Heat, I'm a Heat fan. I'm sure you know that already.
Sure.
You had double overtime. It's on it for crying out loud. But like I said, it's basketball.
That's all that matters.
It's not like football where you can. It's basketball. Anything can happen.
Exactly. That's why we love the NBA.
Exactly.
Very, very exciting. And anyways, let's get post-game. Our thoughts are coming, first of all, from the winners, the Sixers. We can get to listen to Joel Embiid, of course, and one of his other teammates, Georges Niang.
I mean, it was good that they didn't knock down, 53s, so that helped a lot. But it was all about the start. From the start, everybody was aggressive. We moved the ball. We got stops, and even when we went down about 11 in the second quarter, we just knew what we had to do, and we went on the run. And but it was all about the start. Execution. I mentioned it a couple games ago. I just thought we had to be better when executing, especially down the stretch. We gotta know the first option, we gotta know the second option, the third option, and I thought tonight the ball didn't stick. That took away the first option. We went to the second one, and eventually we got to the third option. So that's the way we got to play. So it all comes down to execution, and that's what we work on every day.
I think the biggest thing was just trying to throw off his timing. A lot of guys let him ramp up and get to his right hand and drive downhill and let him get rhythm. I was trying to make him. Obviously, you don't completely stop a guy like that. Just make him take as many tough shots as he had to. And Joel did a great job behind me of, trusting in our defense and being a wall back there and giving me the opportunity to push up and have him as an anchor back there. The whole team did a great job, actually. So, credit to everybody. It's a group effort to stop him.
Good team job from the Sixers, and that's how they were able to defeat the Milwaukee Bucks, defending champions. Apart from Niang, who scored 18 points, there's also Tobias Harris, finished with 19 points, as well as Tyrese Maxey, who also scored 19 points. Let's play a thought for the Bucks now. Giannis wasn't not alone in that game. He also got help from Nigeria's small forward, the Tiger small forward, Jordan Nwora. Both Jordan and Giannis have been reacting to that loss against the Sixers.
I think we did a good job. Just keep staying in the game, keep defending well, keep playing one another. I think we had 2 turnovers down the stretch, one from me, one I don't remember. I wasn't in the play. That we threw the ball out of bounds. They had the chance to take a shot. Hey, we just got to keep learning from this. I think they played well. They execute well down the stretch. You got to give him credit. He's getting to the free throw line. He's knocking down threes. The offense is played through him in every single position that he's in the game. We kept playing one-on-one. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, we haven't done something like that, like this in the past. You know, like, at time I think we could be a little bit more disciplined.
I think, you know, it's tough. He had 40 points, but he's just super talented. You know, we threw a lot of stuff at him today. He was able to knock down a bunch of challenging shots. He's a heck of a player. And, yeah, just a great game by him today. I think for me, it's kind of the same mentality, but just being ready to catch and shoot when the ball's swung to me. Like I said, do the little things that'll keep me on the floor. And, yeah, just being able to play off those guys. You know, I'm playing around 2 All-Stars, should be three All-Stars, but, you know, just being able to play off them. And they have a lot of trust and faith in me, so just being able to knock down shots for them when I need to.
18 points for Jordan on 6 for 12 shooting. That's about 50% from the field, so it wasn't a bad performance at all. Let's take a look at the top performers before we leave the NBA. Very fantastic. Fantastic performances are coming from a lot of different players on the day. Giannis Antetokounmpo was the star of the show for the Bucks. 32 points, 11 rebounds and 9 assists, but it wasn't enough as they lost against the 76ers. Next up is Joel Embiid. He was largely responsible for the loss against for the victory for the 76ers against the Bucks. He finished with 42 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. The next up is CJ McCollum of the Pelicans, 38, 2 and 5 for the Pelicans, but they lost against the Dallas Mavericks because Luka Doncic was simply sensational. He finished with 49 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. So that's it for the NBA. Lastly, before we leave the NBA, news coming out of the LA Lakers camp says Anthony Davis is going to miss about 4 weeks with a foot injuries. Not great news at all concerning the LA Lakers. You know, all of their issues already well documented. Now they're going to have to do without their second best player. But the good thing is the All-Star break is around, so perhaps by the time all of that is over.
Well, All-Star is just 3 days. They're going to miss him for like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But then he should be back in time for the playoffs if they can manage to get into the playoffs.
If they can manage.
But then, Tyler, like you said, let's just look forward to the All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
75th anniversary, so starts from today. Looking forward to that one.
Should be interesting, should be
very,
special.
Very interesting.
Indeed. All right, so that's it for the NBA. Trust me, finally. Let's get on with the show. It's time to focus on the Super Falcons game against the Lady Elephants of Côte d'Ivoire. That's an AWCON qualifier that's going to go down in Abuja today. It's the first leg, and Sam Ahmadu, a female football expert, is going to be joining me to preview that game. Sam, good morning. It's great to have you on the show. Can you unmute, Sam? Can hear you.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Great to be part of the show.
Yes.
Thanks, Tayo. Thanks for having me.
Always great to have you on the show, Sam. So let's cut to the chase. It's the D-Day for the Falcons against the Lady Elephants. What are expectations for this game?
Well, everyone wishes for his or her side to win, and I think that's not different with me today. I think we have great expectations going into this game.
Okay.
We're going up against a very difficult side in Côte d'Ivoire, and I think we have everything within our kitty to execute this game and get the vital result we need, especially going into the second leg in Abidjan. So I think at this point, I think looking at the quality of players we do have, even though we're going to be missing out on a couple of quality legs, especially those who are yet to arrive with him, quite a number of them, 4 players, and some who possibly did pick up injury while in training. There will definitely be a major absence, which are some of our top stars. But thankfully, we have alternatives and also quality legs in some of our American bonds, and also the newly arriving England-based player, that's Ashley Plumter. We have Ifeoma Onomona from the US also around here. Esther Okoronkwo, who's based in Spain, in France, also around. And these are a couple of legs that are really going to be a great addition to this team. And I think we're definitely going to be looking a different side from what we possibly had at Aisha Buhari, and also what we had against Cote d'Ivoire in the last meeting back in 2019. So we understand how difficult this tie could be. We've not won outrightly in last 5 meetings, and that's dated back since 2015. And I think we need to definitely do everything possible to ensure this time we do things differently, getting to secure a comfortable result, a comfortable lead, if you ask me, on our home front. So I think at this point, the Cote d'Ivoires who are here are also here in full force. 25 players came into Nigeria, over 13 foreign-based players. And even outside Cote d'Ivoire, they have also 7 more other players who play outside the shores of Cote d'Ivoire. And to tell you, 13 and 7 tells you that is 20 foreign-based players. And I think that is huge for a team like Ivory Coast. So they also want to qualify for the AWCON. They want to return. They haven't been there for a while since they appeared in 2015. So 2015 Women's World Cup. So it's really going to be a very uphill task for both countries. It's the mother of all games in the second round playoffs, that second round qualifying round. So I think it's really going to be crucial to see what happens in Abuja. But definitely, I believe Falcons have everything in them to really go out today and ground out the big.
Yeah, hopefully they get the required results against Côte d'Ivoire. You've already talked about the Falcons, what is different about them the last time these two sides faced off. That was in a qualifier for the Olympics. Of course, we have bad memories of that one. The Falcons are eventually getting dumped out by Côte d'Ivoire. What about the Ivorian side? How different are they from that last side? Are they a lot more stronger?
Yeah, well, the Ivorian side, like I did mention, they have 13 players who plays in Europe, also outside Europe, but overseas players in the team. I see close to 20 overseas players who are playing outside Cote d'Ivoire. Definitely, we know the experienced player, former Barcelona and Tenerife star, Ange Nguesson. She scored against us in Ivory Coast during the WAFU Cup tournament, WAFU final, before Uchenna Kanu did level up at the last gap minutes of the game, and I think it was such a massive game. We have also a couple of legs. Rebecca Elo, who plays in Spain, Ida Guehi, who's also playing in Spain alongside Rebecca Elo. They both play for Logrono in Spain, so quite a lot of experienced players. Also, some of them in France. So these are players who have gained experience, and again playing under the same coach for over a decade. It tells you they have so much synergy. They have so much knowledge of themselves and also know how best to go about their game. But again, understanding the fact that Nigeria will always go into such contests as favorites. Definitely today, we hope we definitely could convert that favorite status into scoring goals and also being clinical against the Ivory.
Yes, I'm going to let you go now, but before then, your predictions?
Well, for me, it's going to be really dicey. I don't really want to feel it could be an easy game for Falcons. But again, I believe Randy Wardrop definitely knows his onions. I think this is one of his biggest tests. And I think engaging him definitely after a year involved in the national team, I hope to see things differently today. I would just want to go for a 2-0 win. I feel we're having some quality legs on Name, Ashley Plumter. Definitely we should have players who really been able to dig it out, whether physically or tactically against the Ivorians. So I'll go for a 2-0 win for Nigeria.
All right.
Regardless of what happens in the second leg.
All right, 2-0. That's coming from Sam. Madu, want to thank you for joining us on the program. Appreciate your insights as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. All right, it's time to go on a break. It's the first one for the show. When we come back, there's still a lot more to come on Sport this morning. You're welcome back. Before we take a look at the Nigeria Professional Football League match day 14, Rotimi, what are your thoughts on this game? Crucial game today between the Falcons and Côte d'Ivoire.
Well, it's going to be a tight one, no doubt. I've had the chance to talk to 1 or 2 players in the current squad amongst the team in Abuja. And they said they know what to expect, really. It's Côte d'Ivoire. All of a sudden, they've become a bogey team for Nigeria. Remember the last time we played, was it at a WAFU tournament? I think it went all the way into penalties. And then over 2 legs for the Olympic qualifiers, we played out the draw. They qualified on away goals and knocked us out. So I think we want to avoid that today. We're not particularly convinced about what we saw the last time we saw Super Falcons.
Yeah.
But hopefully this time around things would have changed, especially with some new additions into the squad as well. So I'm pretty positive that we'll get a result today. Whatever happens in Abidjan, I don't think it should be bad or terrible enough to knock us out of that qualification for AWCON, and of course ultimately going to the tournament in Morocco and then getting into the semi-finals that ends us that ticket to the World Cup. But if you look at the score lines from all the qualifiers, it's been amongst the big teams in Côte. It's the result has always been very, very close. And CAF should also do something about the qualification route.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of new teams, which is good for development, but in terms of proper matchup, proper competition and all of that, and then proper representation at the world stage.
But you've just said now that a lot of the score lines have been competitive
in big
scores.
games. So, you have, for instance, a Burkina Faso going over to Guinea-Bissau and winning 6-0 in the first leg, away from home.
Okay, that's not exactly.
And then you have Burundi taking on Djibouti, 6-1. Yeah. The only close one we've seen was...
That's definitely not close.
The only close one we saw, probably 2 out of it, Senegal peeping Mali to 1-0 win, and then Zambia failing to score against Namibia, ended goalless. So you look at all of this. But there's another big game today, though. Looking forward to that. I don't think it's big, to be honest, with due respect. South Africa, Algeria. I think the South Africans will probably go past Algeria.
Yeah, but it's a very fascinating matchup.
Yeah, of course, it's a game you want to monitor, you want to watch. And then there's Equatorial Guinea. They are also big names, on the continent when it comes to women's football. They travel to Tunisia, and then you have Cameroon, Gambia. So,
all right, good luck to all of those teams. What we're really concerned and bothered about is the Super Falcons of Nigeria against Côte d'Ivoire. We've got a new addition to the side. I'm not sure how much you've seen of Ashley. But she seems to be a very, decent player from Leicester.
Actually, I have about 3-4 new additions. About 2 or 3 from the US.
Seems to be
because she plays in England.
Exactly.
And then she plays in the WSL, I think, with Leicester City. They won their game just before she
scored as well.
She scored a goal just before she came to the camp and all of that. Let's see how this pans out for her. I hope it's a good homecoming.
Yeah, exactly.
For Ashley.
All right, good luck to the Super Falcons of Nigeria today against Côte d'Ivoire as they continue the quest to qualify for the Africa Women's Cup of Nations. It's time to talk about the NPFL now, match day 14, or match day 13 results first of all. Games that were concluded yesterday. Abia Warriors and Rivers, the game ended 1-0. So that means Rivers remain second. They are not able to topple Plateau United on top of the log. The Kada lost at home to Gombe United. What a result for Gombe United, going to get all 3 points away from home. Enugu Rangers International 1-0 over Nasarawa United, as well as Heartland 1-0 over Lobby Stars. Very important 3 points right there for Heartland FC. For match day 14, those are the fixtures for you. Aqua United will look to build on the fantastic away victory when they take on the Kada in the derby. There's also Eimba versus MFM. MFM got a very important victory on match day 13, 1-0 over Katsina United. It's very interesting to see if they can upset the apple cart right there in Aba. Gombe United versus Plateau United, the leaders, and Gombe, one of the most informed side in the NPFL, they're going to clash on match day 14 as well too. There's also Canopilas versus Abia Warriors. Elsewhere, it's Katsina United versus Heartland, Lopi Stars versus Remo Stars. Back-to-back losses for Remo. Surely they will try to, stem that negative tide. Nasarawa United will take on Niger Tornadoes, while Rivers United will tackle. So that's it right there for you. Games up for the match day 14 of the Nigeria Professional Football League. Shooting Stars will be in action as well against Wicked Tourists, as well as Sunshine Stars versus Kwara United. Rotimi, which of these games are you looking forward to watching the most?
Well, I think I like the look of Plateau United all of a sudden. 5 straight wins, including an away win, which is pretty decent for a side like Plateau United, who have a new manager. Somehow I was opportunity to see that team last December in Jos alongside Fidelis Electric, who is their coach.
Yeah.
And we'll wait to see how this plays out, but it's really looking good for Plateau United. So I want to see how they can continue that run. I mean,
it's a tough trip, though. I mean, Gombe United are in form as well.
Exactly, but then considering the fact that Gombe had to travel all the way to the south-south to play at Dakada and one away from home, I think fatigue might come in. It's looking like a game that Plateau United will probably walk away with something, maybe a point. I'm not saying they'll go on and probably get all 3 points, but it looks like a game they can actually get a point from. Rivers United also looking like the real deal, picking away wins, getting draws as well. Last time out, I think, which was against Abia Warriors, 1-1 away from home. So it's really looking decent. Just 1 point separating Rivers United and Plateau United. And then should be interesting. Aqua United as well, after the exit of Boboye, they probably stunned everyone by coming to Remo and getting all 3 points. What happens now after the was it a new manager bounce that end them that result?
Probably.
Yeah, so let's see what they can do as well.
Got to go on a run.
And then fortunately for them, it's a home game. On match day 14 against Dakada. Even though it looks like a local derby, but it's a home game. Dakada has not been informed, so you should start from here. But it's still kind of game that ends in goalless or 1-1 and all of that. So looking forward to the Southwest teams as well, Shooting Stars, MFM, hopefully. if they can. I mean, they won the last time out. Let's see if they can find their way out of that relegation zone. But looking forward to almost all of the games.
Enyimba is a tough matchup for any side. We'll see for MFM.
Enyimba hasn't been convincing lately.
As well, but what about Remo Stars back-to-back losses? I said it after the first loss that I'd like to see how they react to losing a game for the first time, and they followed it up with another loss.
One thing we should also admit is that the current structure of the league, the calendar, does not seem to favor anything. You play at the weekend, by midweek you're playing, you're back again this weekend. I mean, that fatigue, tiredness, players getting worn out easily will always come into play. So you need a lot of mental toughness to go past this kind of situation.
Squad depth as well.
Yeah, but even if you're talking about squad depth with 2 games, 3 games within a week,
but it helps the situation. I mean, if you have quality in depth, you can.
That's the thing. How many clubs in Nigeria can afford that quality? That's the little quality we have in our league. How many clubs can afford them? So you probably see the bigger teams picking points, taking advantage of the situation, and then the young, exciting one, when they start to fizzle out, they need a lot of reawakening, to bounce back. But I hope Remo Stars. I think they have a home game this weekend, though. Or they lost.
They're playing against Lobby Stars away.
So maybe that loss at home. To Aqua United. I mean, not a bad. It's Aqua United anyway. They have another big team coming, but I'm sure they'll probably wake up, do something, and maybe walk away with all 3 points.
All right, fingers crossed. So those are the games match day 14 for the Nigeria Professional Football League. You can always join us on Monday for a comprehensive review of those matches. Let's take a step down to the Nigeria National League. It's kicked off. It's kicked off already. In case you missed match day 1, don't miss match day 2. Fixtures are coming from Group A2, first of all. Group A1, let's start with Group A2. Adamawa United will take on Jigawa Stars. It's Doma United versus Green Berets. Kebbi United will take on DMD, while Road Safety will trade tackles against NAF Rockets. There's also Kogi United versus Malum Fashi. In Group B1, Bendel Insurance, they got a draw on match day 1 right here in Lagos. So they'll be looking to get all 3 points against JRTT. There's also Ibom Youth taking on Godolski. Ekiti United will take on Abeokuta Stormers. Campus versus Osun United. Giant Brillers will take on Gateway United, while Vendreza will take on Ikorodu City in Lagos derby.
That game is today.
Right. Today. Derby today between Vendreza and Ikorodu City. While for Group B2. It's Abia Comets versus F1 Rockets, Crown versus Warri Wolves, Bayelsa United will take on Inewi United, Go Round versus Ijebu United, and Solo versus Sporting Lagos. Sporting Lagos are the newest, one of the newest teams in the Nigeria Professional Football League.
In the NNL?
In the NNL, rather. yeah, they're looking to go into the NPFL, so don't let me get carried away.
That's the target.
Yeah, but it started with a home draw.
Yep.
So,
it was their first professional game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not losing was good. Yeah, not losing.
So let's see how all of these games are pan out over this weekend. That's it for the Nigerian National League. Let's now take a step lower, one more to the Nigeria Nationwide League. It's not exactly the Nationwide League. It's called the Creative Championship, but it features teams that play in the Nationwide League.
Most of them play in the Nationwide
League. A lot of them NLO. Yeah. A lot of them privately owned teams as well too. We're seeing pictures from the media conference that was held yesterday in Lagos to brief journalists and fans alike on their journey so far and their future plans. Let's take a listen.
The vision was born from the idea that we needed competitive games to develop our players. And because I'm a coach and my stock of trade is to develop, right? We know we need competitive games. Without competitive games, you cannot measure the potential of the player. You cannot measure on a consistent basis if the players are improving. And so the idea was to create more competitive games for our players, which we have eventually done. We have a company called Cora Stats in Egypt that works with us. We pay, of course, to give the statistics, not just who won the match, who scored a goal, but every player's details in terms of the passes they make, which direction are these passes, their heat maps, how many times did they win the ball, lose the ball, their shots on target, off target, every detail. And these parameters help us to compare players, help us to compare their development, have a reference point as which we can work on. And this is only available in the TCC. There is no other league in Nigeria that has that much data.
The development of football is the responsibility of every stakeholder in football. And it's the culmination of ideas. You know, not just one idea will cut it. We've got to have different ideas from different set of people. And it's when we bring all of that together that we'll have a vibrant football economy in this country. It's a league that is totally different in its organization. In everything that we do is about developing football players in the right way. And also having a sustainable business model that clubs can actually participate in football and make a profit. If you look at other spheres of football in Nigeria, I'm not sure, and I stand to be corrected, how many football clubs are making profit. And the only thing that will sustain our football, the only thing that will make sure we have football tomorrow, we have football in the next 10 years, is when clubs that are participating in football begin to make a profit, so that they have something to reinvest in and then to also go on with.
As the chairman of the Creative Championship, at the end of the second season, they're looking to get better going forward. Rotimi, the league seems well put together. I mean, I'm sure you've been following since the inception last year, and I mean, it's a very laudable initiative coming from these private club owners.
Yeah, very laudable, no doubt. Of course, at some point we did witness that, excuse me, that long break from local football.
NLO sides,
and then, even from Nigeria as it were, the NPFL, the NNL. And then they knew they had to do something, put something together. Let's just run something. And then it's been well packaged so far. I think from what we saw, just 10 teams, it's still easily manageable. Like you can see the kind of personnel handling such clubs, from the coaches, the way they speak. By the time you incorporate all of this, all of these features into a young player, you know, exposing them to the media at the early stage, how to deal with brands, how to deal with contracts and all of that. I think if we can have this model, this template, work for these 10 teams at first, and then you probably get to see more teams coming in, you know, to adopt that strategy. So at the end of the day, maybe in the next 5, 6 years or 5 to 10 years, I'm probably looking at a model that can work for Nigerian footballers as a whole, male or female. So it's pretty good. Hopefully nothing disrupts this. Let's just keep seeing the flow. And then by the time the corporate bodies latch on this one, I don't think I will be surprised. Really.
Yeah, there'll be no stopping them, right?
I don't think so.
It's just going to keep growing. And so, I mean, at the moment, it's just teams from Lagos and Ogun State. But eventually, they would like to incorporate teams from other parts of the country as well, too. But this is just the start. It's the second season. And wish the organizers and the teams and the players, Bagada FC, Beyond Limit, Worcester again, Medino, you can go on and on. All the teams, I wish them the best for the rest of the season. Let's get on with the show. Still talking football, but this time around we're going to the Premier League, the most competitive or exciting league in the world, if you want to call it that. Games will go down this weekend. Of course, the star matches between Manchester City will look to take another step towards winning back-to-back titles when they take on Tottenham at the Etihad Stadium. But also all the matches before then we have the fixtures for you. Quickly before we focus on that one, West Ham will take on Newcastle. There's Arsenal versus Brentford. Who can remember or who can forget that very first game of the season where Arsenal were absolutely, stung by the bees right there at the Brentford Community Stadium. So Arsenal will be looking to avenge that loss, definitely. Aston Villa will take on Watford. Watford still battling relegation, still in relegation waters. It's going to be very tough for them at Villa Park. Brighton will take on Burnley. Burnley as well, too. Another team will look like they might be playing next season in the Championship. They've got a very difficult task against Brighton. There's Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Chelsea returning to action after winning the Club World Cup a few weeks ago. They'll be taking on Crystal Palace in the derby. Liverpool versus Norwich. There's also Southampton versus Everton, and the big one, Man City versus Tottenham, in the last game on Saturday. While on Sunday, there are 2 matches between Leeds United and Manchester United, as well as Wolves versus Leicester City. Of course, it's all about City and Tottenham in this one.
Well, it's all about when is City winning the title.
Okay.
That's what it's looking like, because every other chasers or top teams have failed to really give a push. Maybe save for Liverpool.
Liverpool are still, keeping them on their toes.
Exactly.
But City are in the driving seat. And
exactly. And if they continue this way, maybe in the next few weeks, you and I will be saying, oh, when is it going? 1 game, maybe 5 points to the title, or 6 points, or 3 more wins, and then they're fine. But no doubt, the standout fixture on paper is Man City Tottenham. But then again, what kind of scores are we expecting?
Yeah, what kind of scores are we expecting?
The type that lost to Southampton, the type that lost to Wolves.
Back to back.
Back to back. So
they lost to Chelsea just before then as well. So that's 3 losses in a row.
And it's pretty weird. I mean, if you
is it weird? What is weird about it?
Is it weird? Because against the Southampton side, playing at home, one would have expected, it's a Conte team. Let's go on and then predict that they get all 3 points. And then after that bleep, you went over to Wolves again and then lost. And all of a sudden, Conte is saying, Tottenham.
Both games are lost in London.
And then there's this stuff, me paraphrasing now. They go on to sign players, young players that are probably not needed, or the scouts are not doing a good job. But not.
He's been very vocal about lack of quality.
You can't blame him, because I mean he has to play what he has. And so coming up against a City side at the Etihad.
There's no other results in this one.
No, there's no other results.
Really?
No.
You don't expect any kind of upsets?
Nope.
Straightforward?
Straightforward.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's the logical and that's the most obvious result is for City to go on and win this game against Tottenham on Saturday. We need to go on a break as the last one. When we come back, we'll be telling you how Barcelona ended up rallying for a draw against Napoli. That was in the UEFA Europa League. Join us again. You're welcome back to the show. Before we take a look at what's going down in the world of tennis, let's give you the results of games played in the Europa League yesterday, including Barcelona versus Napoli. That game ended 1-1. Napoli with the lead, but then Barcelona fought back, rallied for a draw, courtesy their latest, or it's not exactly their latest signing, but one of their new signings gets in the equalizer for them. I'm talking about Ferran Torres. Elsewhere, it was Dortmund losing against Rangers by 2-4. There was also FC Sheriff with a 2-0 win over SC Braga. Zenit lost at home against Real Betis, which is not surprising at all. There's also Atalanta with a 2-1 win over Olympiacos. Porto 2-1 over Lazio. Leipzig 2-2 against Real Sociedad. And Sevilla 3-1 over Dynamo or Zagreb. But of course, the glamour tie, Barca taking on Napoli. It's quite strange seeing Barca in this level of competition, but it is what it is. That's their reality right now. And they managed to get a point in this one, even though they should have gone on to win it in the second half because they created quite a few chances. But Ferran Torres fluffed his lines a couple of times.
Yeah, and he wasn't the only culprit. He also had Aubameyang at some point. As a matter of fact, after Napoli took the lead in this game, Barca came back, created chances, but then the finishing was their undoing at the end of 90 minutes. So 1-1. Yeah. Fortunately for them as well, there are no away goals this season, so it's still an open tie.
Yes.
So let's see how that pans out for Barcelona. But it's no surprise they were even lucky to drop into the Europa League. They could have crashed out of Europe altogether. So, I mean, for a club like Barcelona, on the positive side, this is the only title they probably don't have in their cabinet. So if you can go all out and go on to win this one. I mean, we talk about Liverpool, we talk about Chelsea, we talk about Matchday United. They have UEFA Cups, they have Champions League, they've got Club World Cup and all that. So for Barcelona, that could spoil them. It's the only trophy they want. They probably would love to have in their cabinet. And then why not go all out and see if you can win it? So good ties, no doubt. Even the Dortmund Rangers game, brilliant stuff for the Scottish outfit.
Yeah. What a result.
What a result away from home.
Yeah.
Really, really good stuff. Atalanta as well coming back from a goal down later on to beat Olympiacos. And then you have United Loni at Sevilla getting on the score, getting his first goal. Anthony Martial got his first goal in Sevilla colours as well. Interestingly, in that game, all 4 goals were scored in the first half. So the spectators were disappointed that they could have produced any goal, but it ended 3-1.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for the Europa League. Barca and Napoli, they're going to meet again in Naples. That's going to be on February the 24th for the decisive second leg. All right, let's give you a little update concerning Novak Djokovic. He's back, is expected to make his return to tennis. It's going to be at the ATP 500 Dubai Tennis Championships. Some pictures are coming right there from the world #1 tennis player, 20-time Grand Slam winner. Obviously, he's Mr. Tennis, and he cannot wait to get on court again. Let's take a listen to him.
And I'm excited to go out on the tennis court next Monday and miss tennis, honestly, after everything that has happened in the previous couple months. I think skiing has helped me with my sliding and my flexibility a lot, particularly the flexibility of my ankles. Because I was skiing a lot and I was playing on the snow, I was sliding, you know, just spending a lot of days going up and down on the hills, and that has really helped the development of the flexibility of my ankles, and that's why I feel like I can slide and do a lot of things on different surfaces nowadays.
So when Djokovic has been out of the tennis world, he's been actually skiing, and interesting to see how he's tried to link both sports, entirely different sports, together. He's talked about how skiing has helped him improve on the sliding. We see a lot of slides on the tennis court. This guy is quite unconventional, but there's a reason why he's one of the greatest of all time.
I agree.
He does anything and everything to improve himself.
I agree. I think they all do it, apart from your primary sports. You do other sports, to...
Yeah, but some do it for the fun of it.
That's what he said. He's also doing it for the fun of it. But then, because he's been away from tennis, he feels, oh, the fun I was having should be able to help me achieve this or do this. He's not going to be playing on the snow, is he?
Of course not.
Good.
No snow,
so
no
the
snow
fun he
surface.
was having will definitely be a plus somehow when he gets back onto the court. And then for now, we should expect to see Djokovic in what will I call it now? In my own terms, user-friendly zones. So only zones that can allow him to play.
That don't have
all
COVID-19 vaccination mandates. That is the main one.
Exactly.
That is the main one.
That's the only place he can play tennis. So he should get enough as much as he can. If the Grand Slams, if all the Grand Slams choose to have the vaccination mandate, just like he came out some days ago that he's ready to miss out on some majors, and then we'll just keep watching him in the ATP 500s.
500s
till the vaccine mandates.
Yeah, I mean, things are getting relaxed a lot now. If you're following what's going on around the world, a lot of protocols, a lot of, getting relaxed, some getting thrown out totally. So, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if Djokovic definitely will not require any kind of vaccine mandate as a feature at the majors. The next one is in Paris, the French Open. Of course, Djokovic is the defending champion for that one.
And it looks like there's a mandate on that as well.
Yeah, well, nothing is settled for now. Nothing is official. So we'll see how that one pans out. Let's take a look at the papers that wrote to me. Can you help me with those?
Sure,
those right there. Thank you. Complete Sports, we're starting with that one. Indeed, it scores on 200th Leicester appearance. That was quite a game as well, too, between Leicester and Randers. Ended 4-1. Convincing at the end of the day for Leicester City.
Yeah, good performance. Yeah, also they provided the assist. A couple of assists, included the fourth goal. Pretty, very good watch.
Good watch, indeed. Still on Complete Sports, NFF to earn $12 million if Eagles qualify for the World Cup. So,
and that's why there's that.
Everything.
We
concerted efforts. The World Cup, Nigeria must be there. $12 million.
I don't even want to think about us
not being there. Let's not do that. So everything, all hands must be on deck. Everyone must be rowing in the same direction to get the job done against Ghana. Still on Complete Sports, Olaino desperate to end Juve jinx. Okoye yearns for consecutive clean sheets. We must pray against injuries to avoid AWCON experience, as according to Joseph Dosu. Lingard to reject Tottenham move. We'll see about that in the summer. There's also stories concerning PSG approaching George Mendes for Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know why I find it very hard to believe and see Ronaldo and Messi playing in the same team. PSG.
He's 37 now, so hey, go whatever.
Let's go to the MLS or something. Relax.
If he goes to PSG, he gets more money. He's still in Europe.
PSG offer Mbappe close to £1 million per week. They'll do anything to keep this guy. But I can't help but feel they've dropped the ball already, and they might just be losing out on this guy on a free transfer. We'll see. I'll keep an eye on that one.
Definitely.
All right, Sports and Life is the next paper for review. Osimhen shines despite injury. I wouldn't say there was any kind of shining from Osimhen in that game. I thought he struggled.
I'm sure the person saw the game, his moves, his passes, the way he held the ball.
I'm not sure about that qualifier. Anyways, it was good to see him play. Before the game, there were reports of
at some point, I was watching. He landed badly and then held on to his elbow. I'm like, not again, But
Sports and Life. All right, so good to see Osimhen playing in that one. Hopefully, no lingering injuries from that game. There's also Leicester versus Randers we talked about. Indeed, he's scoring a goal in that one. Arsenal Spurs join Chelsea in race to sign Sosa. Lingard to reject Tottenham. PSG approach Mendes to discuss Ronaldo deal. Similar headlines everywhere on this paper. And Newcastle to agree to sign, or Newcastle agreed to sign Moses Simon. Wow. We'll see. We'll wait for the summer for that one as well too. And last paper is Sporting Sun World Cup playoffs, players selection, my biggest headache. But it's safe to say it's a good headache to have because of the quality options that Nigeria has right now. Barca come back to earn draw with Napoli. We talked about that already. Brazil legend Adriano, okay, is in the news for the wrong reasons. I was quite the striker while he was still active. But now actually becomes Genk Centurion. Has got 100 goals for Genk. The Tigers now forced to reckon with in the world. That's according to Ahmed Musa Akira. Tyson Fury donates heavy bag Jim K to aspiring boxers. Good to see the Gypsy King trying to help with the development of boxing in the world. Rotimi, I want to thank you for your time.
Many thanks. Good to be here.
Stop being a stranger. I always say that to you. Thank you all for watching as well too. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a fantastic weekend. I am Tayo Salam.